Welcome into SBR Madness for March 15th, Friday. Happy Friday out there to you. It's Ides of March, Maxwell Smart on Twitter at Maxwell Smart 420. Basketball, college basketball aficionado. Welcome into the show, bud.
Thanks very much, Drew. Obviously, it's a pleasure to be here as always, and I'm ready to get going because we got games starting up soon, and we got a game starting up right now with Southern Miss and Western Kentucky.
Yeah, and we hit on that in the morning show, and we got a bunch of games going on right now. Auburn, South Carolina. We got some other big ones going on. UCF Memphis, we hit on that. George Mason, St. Bonaventure, Nebraska, Wisconsin. So all these games going on right now, and we'll hit the afternoon slate as well. We got a bunch of guys in the chat box. Welcome in, guys. Big Forever, Vegas Gun, Hi Guy, Josh, Bob Taylor. I think we're on the docket for UC Irvine, correct?
Yes, we are. UC Irvine first half -5.
All right, UC Irvine -5 is the play of the day for Max. I'll have my play of the day by the end of the show. Max, we got the next game up is 6 o'clock. We got 4 or 5 6 o'clock games here, all small conferences. Looks like 825, 803, 827, and 855. Howard, Norfolk State, South Alabama, Texas State. Anything on those two games you want to throw out to the watchers?
Yeah, so I definitely want to touch on this Howard and Norfolk State game because this is a battle of MEAC teams. There is revenge going on for Norfolk State, who recently just lost to Howard in a game where both teams almost hit the century mark. I think that's going to be a little bit less scoring, and I'm going to have to go with um, Howard plus 5.5, and I'm going to be taking the under 155. I think that there's going to be more aggressive defense. I think that there's going to be a better showing of defense, and I don't think that these teams are going to score as much as they did against each other in the previous matchup.
Can you hear me, Max?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. Do you got anything in the Sun Belt game? The Bobcats versus USA?
Yeah, I have to lean with Texas State here. I don't have a play on it right now. I do think that the under also may be possible to hit, but the way that I've seen Roderick Sykes and the rest of the South Alabama Jaguar team, especially play against University of Lafayette, it does bring me a little bit of trepidation before laying this pick. So I'm gonna hold off for now, but I definitely have a play in the Southland game.
Okay. And Max, I think Rafa's going to call you back. We're having some technical difficulties, so I guess I'll just go solo for a minute, and if you could just pick up when he calls you back.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So guys, in the chat box, Eric, what's up, man? Anyone like South Carolina to pull up the upset versus Auburn? Yeah, I do. And that's coming from me wearing an Auburn shirt right now. This is kind of going on the Max, you back?
Yes, sir.
All right, and Rafa, I don't know if you need to call me back with the kickback, but yeah, South Carolina is up right now, 22-18 over Auburn. So yeah, I could see that uh that upset definitely happening. Max, what other 6 o'clock games you like? Do you like St. Joseph Davidson?
Um, I have a play on Davidson. I'm going to take them first half in full game for half a unit each. I think that St. Joe's definitely had a really good game versus Duquesne last night. Cashed a ticket for me. But I think that tonight we're going to be going up against a very efficient jump shooting team that moves the ball very well and play underrated defense. So I'm looking to get on Davidson first half of the game tonight for half a unit each.
Cool, man. And then we got some big games coming up. Xavier Villanova, big one in the Big East here. In Central Michigan, Buffalo. Buffalo laying another big number, 12.5 or 13. They look big. Yesterday covering by like 40 points or 30 points anyway. So now they're having to lay 12.5 or 13 versus CMU. Also, Xavier Villanova. What are you thinking about these two games?
Yeah, when I look at Xavier Villanova, I think that Xavier knows how to beat this team. We've seen them beat this team, and they have a good chance to pull the outright upset tonight. I'm not going to be making a play on this game, but if I were, I'd be. If I had a free play, I'd be playing on Xavier.
All right, man. And we got SMU Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a team that plays great defense. SMU isn't necessarily an over team for me. So seeing this thing in the 130s, actually at 130, it's surprising to me. I would think this would be more in the mid to upper 120s. I think there's value here on the Mustangs and the Bearcats under the total. You got anything on SMU Cincinnati?
Yeah, obviously Cincinnati can put a lot more points up than past Cincinnati teams, and the way that Kane Broom has come on as of late is obviously very refreshing. That's the most polite way I can say about him because he has been a disappointment in his 2 seasons at Cincinnati. But obviously, this team runs and guns with Cumberland. Cumberland's a guy, he's got to be able to stay out of foul trouble. He's got to be able to find lanes to slash and get to the bucket. And Cincinnati's just got to guard the rim. I think that Nazir Brooks is going to be very important tonight. I think that he needs to be able to run the floor and be open for those deep dishes down low. And I think that he can serve up some pizza all night if he wants against this SMU team. I think that they had a good game last night. I think that now they're going up against a different quality of an opponent. And I'd be looking at Cincinnati here on the spread.
Like in Cincinnati on the side. Okay. And have you watched this Auburn South Carolina game, man? Any thoughts on just South Carolina being a bad matchup? That's kind of what I thought going into it. You know, the post play for South Carolina, and Auburn has regained the lead right now, 26-24. But if you had a free live bet, who would you take right now?
Um, Well, the way that Auburn is now figuring out how to shoot the ball against the South Carolina defense does scare me. But I'm already on South Carolina, so I'm just going to stick with that. And I do want to point out that Harper, what Jared Harper's doing right now, that I was watching before the game was he was taking it into like when they were turning it on to fast breaks and from defensive rebounds and transitioning, you could see where his eyes were looking and deciding whether or not he drives the ball or stops and pulls up and passes it to a teammate or hoists up a three. I think that when we're getting this kind of Jared Harper performance, any opponent is in big trouble. So we'll see what happens. But I'm on South Carolina today.
All right, liking the Gamecocks. We got Larry Savage in the house. Yo, what's up, my people? What's up, Larry? Ron Lofton covered Wisconsin first half, but this over second half in St. Bonnie game was a bad move by me, I think. Well, learn from your mistakes, Ron. Larry Savage in the house. Tomar always with some good opinions here. I'm on Purdue. Edwards is rested. He should be great here. Minnesota has struggled against good defensive teams. Hey, we got bid in here. I effed up at Florida plus 500. I cashed out, took LSU money line and UCF money line. Well, the UCF game isn't looking good. I touched that one as well. Not really happy with myself. This Memphis team came out of nowhere, huh, Max?
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this game because I'm gonna probably go on a vulgarity rant because I also hit the live money line for plus 260 on UCF at halftime, thinking that these jamopes would come back. But Taco Fall is just standing there looking like an idiot, and I literally want to take a dildo and slap him in the face.
Taco Fall is fun to watch, man. I mean, sometimes he does look like an idiot. He just kind of goes slow down the court. It's a very interesting game to watch just with when he's playing. How do you think he'll do in the NBA?
I don't even know if he'll be very good in the NBA. I think he's too slow for the NBA.
Yeah, it's weird. I would think he'd be able to like ride the bench on an NBA team and put some money in his pocket just because he's so damn tall, but maybe not. What do you guys think in the chat box? Do you think Taco Fall will get a look in the NBA? That's kind of an interesting. I don't know. It's question there to answer. We got Minnesota, Purdue in the Big Ten, 139.5 the total. Purdue, 10.5. This Minnesota team, it's like Nebraska for me. I've lost on them pretty much every way I can bet them, on them, against them, totals, wides. So I've just written them off. Something I've learned in this business: if you don't have a good read on a team, stay away. Usually save more money than make money. So Purdue minus 10.5. I think that's the side. The Boilermakers are a strong team, Max. You got any looks on this Big Ten game?
Well, as you can see by the style of headwear that I'm fashioning, I'm wearing some of the more new Purdue Boilermaker head cock soup serving gear. And what this hat represents is a hat that is going to serve the bookie cock soup tonight because Purdue's going to be angry. Purdue wants revenge. And let's be honest, this Minnesota team's coached by Richard Pitino. He's a shameful excuse for a Big Ten coach. He probably likes a finger in the cookies. I'm not about that. I'm on Purdue already. I took the 9.5 earlier on this afternoon. I think that this could be a rout.
You know, Max, I'm actually kind of surprised you're not a Patino fan. You know, his dad had strippers for the recruits. Kind of seems like something you'd be into, man. No?
Father and son are two different people. Never said I didn't love the father.
Well said. All right, I can respect that. In the hat, you look like you could drive a train there, whatever that's called.
Well, I prefer a trucker because then you know that they may be carrying something in the load that they shouldn't be, aka boxes of hijacked Popeye's chicken tenders. Yeah, watch out for that.
Delivering it at all the local strip clubs out there. First half, Memphis money line for me. That's from Matt. Good luck with that, man. Actually, I touched UCF, so I'm lying there. Slap that man from Bick. Welcome in, guys. If you're liking the content, please give us the thumbs up sign. Even if you're not, please give us some thumbs up sign, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Ron saying, yep, UCF licking ashtrays for sure. Not sure what happened with this UCF team, man. Maybe they just see themselves in the tournament, decided not to show up. We got Terry Nichols in the house. Super Cisco, like Purdue with the points. He won't make a roster. That's from Brian talking about Taco Fall. 400 saying he'll definitely be in the NBA. I don't know, guys. I think he'll get a look, just as tall as he is. But I'm not saying he'll be a force down low or anything like that. Salty Dog saying, nice hat, Maxwell. Smart 20. Purdue alumni here. Be careful with the Boilermakers today. Yeah, laying doubles. Always be careful in that in-conference tournament. Max, Kentucky, Bama played a good game last night. I feel Kentucky is in a good spot. We will touch on that game. We also did a clip on it on the SBR YouTube channel, so check that out as well with a couple other big games. We do have Alabama, Kentucky here. We did a clip on it, Max. Real quick, do you want to give out a pick on it or just move on down the line?
Yeah, no, I'll just move on down the line. We made a clip about it. Definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, it's a clip on the YouTube channel, probably right around where this video is on the channel. We got Florida State, Virginia up next in the ACC, 124 on SBR odds right now, -8. That's Virginia laying. There are a couple of 8.5s out there. This Virginia team, good offense, good defense, obviously a national championship contender. Florida State athletic. They're long. They can give teams trouble. I don't know if they'll give Virginia enough trouble to hang within 8. Virginia does everything very good, well coached and good from the free throw line. In this line, you know, could come down to a foul fest at the end. I like Virginia here. Haven't bet it, Max. If I was forced to play it, I would lay the 8. How do you view this one?
I've already bet Virginia this morning, so I'm on it. I'm looking to get on first half, and I'm looking to get on the full game under. This could be a game where Virginia comes out with some impressive defense and very efficient shooting. The way that Ty Jerome and some of the decisions he made yesterday were very disappointing. So
We got Iowa State, Kansas State up next. 3 points, Iowa State laying in this one. Max, thank you for the the tip to stay off of Baylor against Iowa State. Iowa State stays alive. Now they're playing the Wildcats here. 129.5 the total. You riding Iowa State again?
No, I'm on K-State. Already hit it. I'm probably gonna hit it again. I believe in this team without Dean Wade. That could be me being delusional and hallucinating things, but I'm still gonna do it. I believe in this K-State Wildcat team. I believe that they are the type of team that can come together and elevate their play to cover the makeup and loss of a key player like Dean Wade. This is a team that plays good three-point defense. They're going to be able to lock it down. Don't keep that TCU game fresh in your mind. It's not the norm. That's just an exception to the rule. I think that they got to just make sure that they hit free throws. I think that they're going to operate within themselves, and they just got to take efficient shots. Shot selection is always an issue for this team. Barry Brown, step the fuck up. Xavier Sneed, man the fuck up. Let's go. K-State Wildcats all day today. Put my Iowa State Cyclones in place.
All right, man. So, bam, wham, thank you, man, from Iowa State. Max is jumping off of him. Thanks for the money last night, but we're done for you tonight, just like his women. Just one night. See you later. We got Bit saying Nebraska money line plus 500. Matt, I like the over in this game. Flea guy saying national championship competitor till they play UMBC. That was last year, Pie guy, and UMBC shot lights out. Would have beat a lot of teams that day, not just Virginia. Larry Savage, Virginia versus Duke ACC final. I could see it. Absolutely, I could see it. I like Duke tonight too, minus 3.5. Andy Townsend, what's good, ladies and gents? Welcome in, Andy Tomar. He's leaning under in the FSU Virginia game. I like that. FSU's athletic, long defense. Neither team's necessarily going to push it. I could see the under hitting in that, Tomar. 187. Virginia has been going over a lot. They have. That's especially early in the season. A lot of people thought they were an under team, and they were obviously improved on the offensive end. So overs hit a bunch. A couple other comments here before we get into the small conference games. There's a bunch of them here from Andy. Drew and Max, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you doing all the work so I don't have to. I blindly follow. Thanks for saying that, Andy. Appreciate it. Max is the man for sure. Too many points for Virginia from Super. Eric, I bet on South Carolina, but Auburn is playing beautiful basketball, man. That's the way games should be played. 36-33, South Carolina up right now going into halftime. So close game there, competitive game in the SEC. Max, we got about 5 or 6 small conference games all in a row. I know you know these teams a lot. 7:30 tip, 8:30 tips, pretty much all non-Power 5 matchups. ULM, Georgia Southern, St. Louis, Dayton, Weber State, Montana. I'm sure you got something on one of these games. What are you in action on, man?
Yeah, I got something on 2 of these games, and I also have something on the MAC game. So I'll start with the MAC, actually, if you don't mind. Bowling Green and Northern Illinois are playing tonight. We've loved, as low baggers and SBR Madness fanatics, to bet on this Bowling Green team. But I think I'm getting off the train tonight. I think that I'm going off. Oh, yeah, there we go. I think that I'm going off with Northern Illinois. I think that I'm taking Eugene Germain. I'm taking Levi Bradley. What I saw against Toledo was very impressive last night. I knew a lot of respectable cappers that were on the other side of that. And when I watched that game with my own eyes, I wasn't all 420 out. I wasn't blurred. I was clear-minded, and I was watching this team play, and I believe that they're at the same level that the team was when they beat Buffalo. So I'm saying that they want a rematch with Buffalo, and I think that it starts with beating Bowling Green tonight. I love you, Justin Turner, DeMaggio Wiggins, and off the boat here.
All right, so that's the biggest play for the 8:30 time slot there.
Yeah, and then I'm also gonna get on Albion Christian. Obviously, I've been talking a lot about how I love Moses Greenwood and Marlon Vale. They're 2 mid-major 20-point a game scorers, and of course they're Lions. Who doesn't like cheering for a Lion? But tonight I'm not. Albion Christian dismissed Jerome Friday and BJ Maxwell. They had a couple games where they were trying to figure out how to run their offense. Well, now they are. Now they're playing back to Albion basketball. And I think Albion is on a collision course. And I think that they're going to not dispatch, but beat and cover against the Southeast Louisiana team.
All right, two teams I know nothing about, so I'll follow your lead there. Abilene Christian is the look. We got Tomar saying with Wade out, Kansas State doesn't have any reliable inside scoring. I'd lean Iowa State. Going against you there, Max. Larry Savage still in the chat. Love you, man. Eric, who you got winning this game? Larry, yeah, Larry's got good insights on a bunch of games. Salty asking you a question, Max. What about UMBC versus Vermont tomorrow morning? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I always lean with this UMBC team now after losing twice with Vermont. The fact is, this UMBC team has grown and really changed the style of play from what beat Virginia last year with a depleted and changed roster. But the fact is, Arkel Lamar and Joe Sherburne and KJ Jackson, they have what it takes to beat this Vermont team. They've done it already, and they've rewarded their bettors, and I want to get some of that money back. So I'll definitely be looking at UMBC going up against my fellow GTA resident, Steph Smith, who's coming off an absolute lethal game from 3-point distance. I believe he hit 8. So it's going to be a very interesting game, but I think that it may be lower scoring than people are expecting.
Okay, so could be like in the under as well. Super Cisco saying West Virginia on a roll. You think that they can keep it close with Kansas? I mean, West Virginia is just a team. I don't know, man. It could beating Texas Tech like that. They're a tough team to handicap, in my opinion. We'll be talking that game in just a minute. Other guys in the chat liking West Virginia first half. This from Super Virginia on a roll and think it will carry on. Money line and Miami Heat as well. Little NBA action. We don't mind. Whatever you're betting, let us know. How about Buffalo tonight? All right, guys. Seton Hall Marquette, next big game up. We got 142 as the total. Marquette -4. A guy I do a show with here in South Florida, the Greek. He has a huge following. He likes Seton Hall tonight plus the 4. You got any feel on this game, Max?
Well, I always have to go back to my way of thinking that when you have a guy that can score 40 points for you, you always have a good chance to win and cover. But I'm thinking that this Kevin Willard Seton Hall team is playing a different kind of defense, and they got a game break changer and a guy who goes pretty under the radar still. And Mr. Sorry. I just had a 420 moment.
420
I
moment.
forgot.
It's 420, dude. It makes sense. UCF
Yeah,
blows all over the chat box right now. They're down 20, man. Just watching UCF lose always bothers me. Anyway, Max, sorry about that. Have at it.
Yeah, no. That UCF game is a real freaking it's real something. It's called Hater of Strippers. That's what that game is. That game doesn't like strippers. That's pathetic. I don't know what's wrong with UCF, but it's obviously the coach. It's obviously Taco Fall. It's obviously everyone else's fault except ours for betting on them. Because you know what? We deserve to win. We should have won. Bastards. But yeah. When we're going back to this Marquette game, well, it always comes down to Marquette's free throw shooting and the defense that they're going to play. If they're going to fall behind to the Seton Hall team, I don't really want a part of it because Seton Hall does a very good job at playing from behind and keeping the lead. So basically, when you have guys like Miles Powell is probably the most underrated scorer in the Big East. He gets a little bit of attention. He doesn't get enough attention, but it's just going to be about who else shows up. I think that Torrin Thompson, the Syracuse transfer, he has a lot of value for the Seton Hall team. I think that obviously he hasn't been getting the minutes, but this is the time of season that he would be valuable if someone gets into foul trouble. So I look for him to get some extra minutes. I look for him to make a difference and really show why he came to Seton Hall tonight. So
Yo, we got Yo-Yo Street in here saying the taint parlay for today. Duke, Iowa State, and ASU money line. Putting the streak on the line for this parlay. The taint play of the day. Tomarino
Yeah, it
Tovar,
has
Marquette
Iowa
seems
State in
like
it.
they benefited a lot from the time of Howard having fresh legs. What was that, Mac?
Oh yeah, his parlay has Iowa State in it.
So you're kind of opposing him.
Oh, I'm opposing it.
You can still like taints and oppose him. It's not a problem. All right, man. We got San Diego State up next. This is a San Diego State Aztec team, top 100 defensive efficiency team going up against Nevada. Nevada struggles without a true point guard, in my opinion. So laying 11 is not something I'm interested in. In fact, I like San Diego State plus the 11, 141.5 the total. Quick thoughts here on Nevada, San Diego State.
Yeah, I'm just interested to know why this line hasn't moved more in San Diego's favor with so much interest in betting on them. This is a Nevada team that's 5-0 on neutral conference, and we just saw them destroy San Diego State getting revenge. Obviously, this is a double revenge situation, but this is one of these homer situations where I got to go with the Wolfpack. I think that Trayshawn Thurman is going to prove his worth and be the X factor for this team. And you can already see that he's been the stabilizing factor on the court when they're out of rhythm and in a funk. So I'm on Nevada. I think that they're gonna get this done tonight. They got a scare for Boise State, and they're not gonna take the San Diego State Aztec team lightly. Wolfpack's gonna feed.
I'll take you up on that. I like San Diego State, Max. So I'm opposing you. You didn't change my view on this. I'm looking to fade Nevada down the stretch and into the tournament. Texas Rio Grande Valley, a team I have no idea about, Max, versus New Mexico State. New Mexico State's pretty good, man. Are they 8.5, 9.5 points better than Texas Rio Grande Valley? I'm not sure, man. What are you
Yeah,
thinking about this?
if I'm leaning into this game, I'm leaning with Texas Rio Grande Valley. New Mexico State had a really good game, but it was against Chicago State, so it was really nice cashing on them for the last time this season. Chicago State was absolutely the greatest team this year to bet against. But I just think that this UT Rio Grande Valley team is very stingy. They don't have a lot of natural size, but they're able to get on the glass. I think that they're going to give New Mexico State a good game tonight. They have a good chance to stay within it. It's not a play for me yet, but it's a lead.
Okay, that is a small game there. And then we got some big ones coming up. Wichita State Temple. I think this Temple team should be able to cover this 1.5, 140 being the total. I mean, Wichita State's down this year, Max. Are you interested in betting this game?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking at Temple here. When you got Shiz Alston and you got the game on the line, you need a free throw made. That's the guy that I want. So he's shown all year how clutch he is. He showed on senior night how clutch he is. Did it in front of his dad. Did it for Coach Fran. This is the goodbye tour. How great would it be if Temple could get to the American Conference Championship game and win it for Fran Dumpy? Well, the core that they have of Q Rose and Alston and Pierre Louis, they're the team that can do it. They're gritty. They know how to score the basketball. They're not going to fall in love with something that isn't working for them. I'm looking at Temple or nothing tonight.
Temple or pass for Max. Guys, thanks for tuning in every Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock Eastern time. Max and myself will run down the afternoon card. And also 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. Tomorrow we'll be on at 10 o'clock, Sunday at 10 o'clock as well for 1 hour going down the weekend slate. And that includes St. Patrick's Day, Selection Sunday. Max, before we get to Iowa, Michigan, do you have any St. Patrick's Day plans?
No, I'm not much of a drinker. Alcohol doesn't mix with betting, and that's what we're going to be doing on St. Patty's Sunday. And once this tournament is over, then I'll worry about drinking. But for the next month, I'm trying to stay away from local strippers. I'm staying away from the booze, and I'm focusing on the games and cashing tickets for you, me, and our SBR fanatics.
Well said, man. I've noticed that too. The last week or so, there hasn't been much fun for me as far as going out. It's been fun. I love capping games and just keeping your mind right, keeping your mind focused on making money. Iowa, Michigan, man. 141 the total. Michigan 8.5 laying in this one, the Big Ten tourney. Iowa's a team I have no interest in betting any further. I don't think they're very athletic at all. So it's Michigan for me. What are you liking, Max?
Yeah, I'm not really looking to bet on this game at all. I'm looking to get on the total live if it gets out to being a high scoring first 4 minutes. I think that Michigan's going to be able to clamp down defense, and I think that Iowa's going to have trouble with this Michigan guard rotation. I think that Charles Matthews is going to prove his worth, and John Beeline's going to show what an exceptional coach he is in March. I know that this isn't the big tournament, but I still think that Michigan wants to win this quite badly.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely do want to win it quite badly. Steve also saying need one game, got $500 left. Where should I put it? Max has already put out his play of the day. UC Irvine. First half, right, Max?
Yes, sir.
So that's where one good place to look to put that 500, your last 500. Maybe split it up, maybe 100 on 5 games. Mississippi State, Tennessee, minus 5.5, 145 the total. Tennessee for me, Max. This Tennessee team's good, man. They're real good. They're tough. I think that they're going to beat Mississippi State by more than 5.5 points. There is 6 out there, but 5.5 the prevailing number. You with me? You think the Vols is the side? Max, can you hear me? Earth to Max. All right, guys. I wanted to answer a question here on Twitter as we get Max back on, because there's a question about kind of just sports betting in general. And it's, dude, what is your advice on how to keep motoring on when it feels like every move I make backfires? I take them, they lose. If I don't take them, they win. And I say I should have bet them. What just feels like every instinct I have right now is the opposite of what I need to do to shake. What do I need to do to shake this off? And it's one of those things in sports betting. Heck, I've lost a bunch. I mean, I think I've lost 3 of the last bets I've placed. It's just something where I think if you're on a losing trend, and what has helped me, take a couple days off. Take a day off, take a days off. Try to get it out of your mind. Try to concentrate on that next bet 2 to 3 days down the road and make it a really good bet that you kind of get out of it. But if you're just keeping the same unit size and doing the same thing time after time, if you go on a losing streak, I've always felt like it can kind of compile on you. I'm a big fan of kind of stepping away for a day, then coming back to it and you know going right back at the bookie, not just acting like nothing happened. And I don't know, maybe just stepping away, clearing your mind. Max, if you're on a big losing streak, is there anything you do to kind of get out of it psychologically?
Psychologically, yeah, I have to definitely step away for a couple minutes. I have to do something else. Maybe I exercise. Maybe I take like a nice hot shower and I do something like that. I do something relaxing. I got to stop obsessing over what I've lost and understand that this is a long-term process. And in long-term processes, especially like this, where we do have the odds stacked up against us from the stats that we look at to the odds that are put out. So we have to understand that it is going to be difficult at times, but that's why we use the resource of each other. We build a community like we have here. We help each other out and we show each other the way, and then we figure it out. It always ends up figuring it out.
Max, also one thing I love about the chat box, the low bag family, everybody's family here in the chat box. Like Hail to the Victors is saying, how about 4 in a row for Big Dick Energy play of the day, 8 of the last 11? Dude, some of these plays of the day, the sausage selection play of the day, I heard today on the Low Bag show, the taint play of the day, among others. Guys, if you're in the chat box, feel free to market yourself as a play of the day, man. Love to get it out to the watchers, and feel free to star it however to get our attention in the chat box. But would love for somebody to start going on a run with some little play that you just made up and just a little marketing term there. But Max, I just had to get off because Rafa had to call me back, and the echo is gone. Thank you, Rafa. That whole show, that whole 37 minutes of show, guys, I couldn't really hear myself. So hopefully you don't think I'm retarded. Now I can actually have a real show. So I have a steaming headache and acting like I couldn't hear myself. It was terrible on the kickback, but I'm back at it, Max. Thank you for fighting through, man. I forget the question I asked you, but I'll just let you lead.
Yeah, no, we're going to talk about this Mississippi-Tennessee game. Definitely, I have a problem with Mississippi State's internal roster. So they've changed up their rotation, bring Ark Holman off the bench. I don't think that's the right move, especially in a tournament setting, especially versus a veteran-laden team like Tennessee has. I think obviously for Tennessee, the key is Jordan Bone. We've seen what happens when he has a big game, and that is he hits threes and he runs the point. When you have a floor general that can score the ball the way that he's shown that he's capable of in conference season, it gives me great confidence to get on Tennessee. The fact is, Q Weatherspoon, he's not going to be able to do it all versus this type of opponent. I do worry about the fact that Mississippi State is 4-1 on a neutral site. I believe that when you played 5 games on a neutral court, those stats are relevant. The fact is, the three-point defense, the field goal defense is where they have the advantage, and they have the advantage at the free throw line. I'm going to have to go with the pure talent of this Tennessee team. I'm going to have to go with the team that has the experience, the upperclassmen, and the underestimated coach. Those Longhorns, I bet they wish they had Rick Barnes now, because eat your heart out, Longhorn fans. Rick Barnes has taken this Tennessee Volunteer team to the sky.
I like it, man. I like the breakdown too. Even the coaching angle. Tennessee, yeah, I believe I'm with you. The more talented team. Guys in the chat box liking it as well. Not a big Shaka Smart fan, huh, Max?
I was a big fan of Shaka Smart when he was a coach at VCU. When he decided to leave VCU and go to a job because he wanted that extra paper and he wanted that notoriety, well, I'm sorry. Look how it worked out for Coach Strong. Yeah. So
yeah,
he got burnt pretty hard and pretty bad. I'm sure that his therapy bills are extraordinary.
we'll have to digress, Max. That is it's a tough coaching job there at Texas, both basketball and football, obviously. But hey, if you got Vince Young at quarterback, you can win national championships. We got Duke, UNC tonight, Max. We did do a clip on it, but I got to get this out there. I like Duke -3.5, man. Zion healthy. I just think the Blue Devils are the side. Obviously, a lot of tickets going to be written on this. 9:30 p.m. Eastern tip. Later night action in the ACC tournament, so it's going to be a fun one to watch. Duke, UNC, round 3. Any quick thoughts, Max?
Yeah, no, definitely want to point out that this Duke team, they love to play on a neutral site. 6 games, 5-1. The fact is, this Duke team is going to be able to play defense. They got to shut down the 3-point line. They cannot allow North Carolina to shoot 40% from the line and hit 9 3-point makes. Obviously, you got to do your work at the free throw line. This is where a place where Duke has struggled throughout the year, but it's not by guys named RJ or Zion. So I'm looking for guys like O'Connell to really get some minutes and get some shot attempts. And I think that you really got to deal with the fact that you're going to not have Marquise Bolden in the lineup now. So Javin DeLaurier, you better step the fuck up and put your big boy pants on, because you're going up against a lethal front court North Carolina. You already know about them. There's been some posterizations already, but I think when Zion comes back, 13 for 13 from the field, just he's not human. He's not human. Duke all the way. Come on, it's Duke or nothing for me.
He's a pretty athletic dude, man. Almost like he's got springs in his shoes or something. But nasty on the topic of a real degenerate can't take days off when they're in the hole. Got to climb out. It's going against kind of the advice I gave when we had to hang up on you and get back because of the technical difficulties, Max. And I guess just to touch on it because a lot of guys are talking about it. First off, would you consider yourself a real degenerate?
Yeah, 100%. When I bet as much volume as I bet, how could I ever classify myself as other? I will literally avoid family occasions if there's a game and I got a lot of money on it. I will straight up admit that. I've convinced my family that this is what I'm going to do. This is my priority. This is my job. So when I have to work, I have to work. And that's what it is. It's work.
It is work. It is absolutely work. So as a real degenerate though, do you have to bet like so the advice I was saying, like maybe take a day off and kind of regroup and then come back at it? It wouldn't work for you then, huh?
That wouldn't work for me because I would literally wake up the next day and then be like, well, I have a routine. I have a structured routine. That's how I operate. How am I going to deviate from that? Then that's going to just give me the it's going to give me the precedent, and then it's going to give me the it's going to give me the what's it called? It's going to give me the attraction of being able to do it again on a day where I need to cap, on a game where I need to bet. And the fact is, I have to look at it one way. I'm a college basketball capper exclusively. My season ends April 8th. My season began November 6th. I have a limited amount of time to get my money for the year. And just like a crab fisherman, he goes out on the ocean, he gets his crab, he comes back in, he lives off that money for the year. It's the same thing with me as a college basketball capper. I'm a college basketball crabber.
Good stuff, man. I like it. And Daryl Lyle's saying practice bets when I don't actually put in a live bet, so that could help as well, especially if you're running low on cash. Don't want to blow your whole bankroll. Just West Virginia, Kansas, though, Max. This is a West Virginia team, man. Yesterday was surprising. Lost on them. Thought Texas Tech would be able to cover the spread. In fact, they couldn't even win the game. 147 the total in this one. Jayhawks laying 10. I'm pretty wary of laying doubles against this West Virginia team. I don't think they're very good, especially in the offensive end. But I've been proven wrong the last couple games. How would you look to bet the Wolverines and Jayhawks here?
Yeah, this was two real interesting games to watch. I was losing on the under, so I had to hedge, and I was able to get a nice live under in that hit by 1 point. So I was extremely lucky on this game, and I don't think that I'm gonna tempt fate again because this West Virginia team with this backcourt of Jordan McCabe and Jermaine Haley, they keep on showing me that they can really play defense. They can press, and that they can score the basketball when you need a bucket. Obviously, you're coming off a huge game for Emmett Matthews, and I don't think that we're going to get 10 for 14 and 28 and 8 from him again. But I definitely think that this is a time for a guy like Lamonte West to finally have a good shooting game. This is a big game for him, just like Texas Tech was, but he's going to look over and see this young backcourt for Kansas and probably think he can feast. Unfortunately, David McCormick is in the starting lineup. David McCormick will be a beast. I think David McCormick and Dedrick Lawson need more touches. Pound the paint versus West Virginia team. Pass the ball so there's limited dribbling, and you can do what you did to Texas last night.
And Max, we got about 5 games left here, all on the late slate. So a lot of tickets written on these and a lot of action. My favorite time to bet is late at night. Max, why do you volume bet? Just curious. That from VIP in the chat box.
So over the many years, 10 plus years I've been betting on sports and college basketball, I've always tried to find my one way that I can consistently bet, make money, and not have my itch, my gambler's itch coming up. So yeah, what I decide to do is basically spend a lot more money every night, taking more risk, but using my huge knowledge base and the work that I do in the off season to be allowed and be able to be successful doing this. Because if I just picked up on November 6th and started betting every game on the board, I would have gone bankrupt before the end of November. So it takes a lot of work in the off season to do it. And the fact is, I just wasn't being successful betting 3 games or betting 5 games or betting 10 parlays and 3 singles. It just wasn't working for me. I was looking at games, I was writing them down, I was capping them. I knew I was missing and leaving money on the table. So I just figured a way out that I can bet all the games that I want and still have money to live, pay my rent, and put food in my belly.
Well said. Great answer. Also, guys, I saw one of the commenters, what's the big dicker, talking about a play of the day. Bob, please, somebody come out with a good marketed play of the day. Bick Forever saying UCSB late night degenerate get back. Good luck with that, Bick. And we'll see what Max likes on the late night slate. Also, I'll have something for sure. We got Alabama State, Texas Southern. That's the game after your UC Irvine Long Beach State game at 9:30 Eastern tip. UC Irvine first half for Max. Max, you want to get anything out there on your play of the day?
Yeah, definitely looking to get on UC Irvine. If you watch the game versus Riverside, obviously they're getting a step up in opponent. But I think that this UC Irvine team has shown and been very consistent and loyal and cashing for all their backers, whether it be the first half or full game. I think tonight, obviously, I'm on first half as my play of the day. I will be getting on full game. I think that when you have Evan Leonard and Max Hazard in their aggressive style offense, whether it be taking it to the bucket and dishing it out for 3, they love to work inside and out on this offense, and I think that they're going to be very stout, capable. They're going to score the ball. They're going to rebound the ball. They're going to play good defense, and I think that they're going to take this Long Beach State 49er team serious for 40 minutes, not like Hawaii, who only took them serious for 30 minutes.
Got to go the full game for sure. We got Alabama State, Texas Southern, Southern Utah, Eastern Washington. Anything on these two small school matchups?
Yeah, of course. I'm definitely looking at Texas Southern in this game. The fact is, they got the big man back, Trayvon Reed, all 7'2" of that beast of a human. And I'm excited to see him play. He only played a couple minutes in the game that they played most recently, but that was because he was in foul trouble most of the game. I expect him, with the combination of Jeremy Combs and Edwin Ewing, to be a very formidable front court offense. And as long as Jalen Patterson, the point guard, the floor general, the speed burster, he's very dynamic. I think that he's going to have a big game. He knows how to get on the glass. He knows how to freaking find an open guy for a jump shot, and he knows how to score the basketball. Jalen Patterson is the difference in this game. I'm on Texas Southern full game.
Texas Southern full game for Max. We got Fresno State, Utah State in the Mountain West, Max. This is a 11:30 p.m. Eastern tip here. Late night degenerate special categorized, 145 the total. Utah State, the Aggies, -3.5, Max.
Yeah, this is going to be a real, I think it's going to be a defensive stout battle. I think that ordinarily you would think that Utah State and Sam Merrill and Quinn Taylor are going to be able to shoot the lights off versus Fresno State team. But we saw what Fresno State could do last night. And when you got a combination of guys like Braxton Huggins and Deshaun Taylor, you always have a chance in this game. These are two guys that can get you 40 points on a given night. Braxton Huggins, he's coming off an 0 for 11 shooting performance. So I actually look for him to have a real good game. And they got some really decent pieces in guys like New Williams and Noah Blackwell and Sam Bittner. I think that they just got to put it all together, stay out of foul trouble. And I think that this is a team that can really give Utah State a run for their money. As far as betting this game, I don't have a bet on this game right now. I'd be looking towards the under. I think that Fresno State's defense is going to be at the forefront of this game. And I think that Utah State is going to have trouble getting good looks from the perimeter.
And Max, we got two more here as far as the degenerate special category goes. We got 865-866 Grand Canyon versus Utah Valley. Looks like Valley laying 145 the total. Anything in the Grand Canyon game?
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to watch this game. This game is going to be a true degenerate special because you got some players on both sides. You got the Italiano, Alessandro Lever, and he is a guy that can really find his shot. He is not afraid to pass it up, and he's not afraid to share the spotlight with his running mate, Carlos Johnson, who's coming off a massive 31 10 for 20 game with 7 rebounds. This is a Grand Canyon team that can score the ball. They can play defense. They got guys like Michael Finnicky, the transfer from Illinois. He's a serious player also. And in Grand Canyon and WAC basketball, he looks even better. I'm telling you. But this is the time for brothers, the Toulson brothers. Jake and Connor, that's who I'm looking to get behind. Connor Toulson is a transfer from Burham from BYU. I just think that when you got two brothers on a team, something about it that just sounds a little sweeter when you're betting on it. And the fact is, on a neutral court, I don't really look at the stats for these two teams. I know that both these teams are going to play good 3-point defense. I know that both these teams are going to hit their free throws. It's just going to be a matter of who hits the last shot. And in this game, I think that the better defensive team in Utah Valley is going to win this game. And I'm going with the Toulson brothers. So let's go Valley.
All right, let's go Valley, and Cash Ashton Bet saying Grand Canyon. Max liking Valley, and we got Ricardo Gutierrez saying Huggins is going to go off tonight. That's for the Kentucky Wildcats. I hope so as well. Max, last game up here, and then we can kind of go wherever we want in the last 7-8 minutes of the show. Cal State Fullerton, UC Santa Barbara. Looks like UCSB bought up from 2 up to 3.5 right now on SBR odds, 138 the total.
Yeah, this Cal State Fullerton was very lucky to be able to get through UC Davis last night in overtime. Obviously, I do have a soft spot for this Cal State Fullerton team because, Jackson Rowe is on this team, but he definitely didn't have a good game. He didn't make me proud. He had 4 turnovers, okay? He didn't shoot well from the field. He was 3 for 11, and he played a lot of minutes. I'm worried about their tired legs tonight. I worry about the fact that they're going up against a UC Santa Barbara team that got a real scare from Cal Sun Northridge last night, and I'm looking for a way better performance from a guy with a really good name, a name that you should name your child, your firstborn, even your dog if he's really cute, Max Heidegger. Okay, I think that Max obviously is coming off a 1 for 9 game. Him and Armand Davis are a great duo. I think that they can both have good games together. I look for them to have an all-around better game. Devare Ramsey needs to definitely step it up. Scoring-wise, he only took 5 shots. When I was watching most of that game, he had Terrell Gomez on him, and he seemed to be having a little bit of trouble with that, even though Terrell Gomez is a little bit lacking in height when it comes to basketball players. But I just got to go with this UC Santa Barbara team. I think that even though I do have a soft spot for Jackson Rowe out of Toronto, Ontario, this Cal State Fullerton team should have lost to UC Davis last night. They won, and tonight they're not going to get 52 points from Kahil Ahmad and Kyle Allman Jr.
Max, well done, man. Aspire to a late saying, I've come to the realization that I'm never going to win another game the rest of my life. I hope not, man. Hopefully we can get you on the right side. Max got his play of the day on UC Irvine, first half. Recommend that. I'll say my play of the day right before we cut out on the show. Max, where do you want to go, man? Let's open it up. What's on your mind?
Well, of course, the only thing that's on my mind is serving cock soup with my cock soup syringe, and of course, supporting local strippers. I think that I'm having a little bit of withdrawal from strippers. I'm thinking about them often. I'm looking up pictures of strippers on the internet so I can try and subdue my heart, because my heart is being like, it's not going to beat properly until I'm in the warm, money-grubbing hands of a local stripper who eats chicken tenders with honey. So I'm adapting, but I need you, Drew. I need your support. I need your moral support to help me get through this withdrawal. I would compare it to getting off heroin, even though I've never done heroin.
That sounds aggressive, man. Getting off of heroin, getting off of strippers. I'm here for support, man. I would tell you, get away for a night. Go to the strip club for an hour or 2 or 3. It's okay, man. Even during March Madness, you got 2 hours to play with one night. Have a cool down beer and just wake up early in the morning and do some handicapping. I don't think myself or the watchers will mind. Just bring it the next day, 420 style.
All right, I hear you there. I think I'll have to take you up on that offer. And of course, it is Friday night. So that's the best time to go party with some local strippers with some chicken tenders and honey.
Hey, you got Moss saying Max internet history is betting sites, Twitter, and porn. Do you think he's on, or is he missing something?
Not the porn, because I don't like to waste fluids unless they're being expelled into a human being. I do have phone porn for when I'm on the bus and someone is uncomfortably sitting beside me. I will actually go and put on my phone porn with the volume down, but that is an instant way to get someone to move away from you. And obviously, smelling bad also can do that, but I just can't bring myself to do that. I'll hit on women on the TTC. I'll hit on women walking down the street. I have no problem whistling, and if they slap me, I know to duck.
You would like Central America a lot, Max. It's like everybody down there is just like hollering at women is totally appropriate. If you see like a hot girl and just like, it's like everybody's doing it, man. It's kind of wild down there. Have you ever been down to Central America?
No, I've never been to Central America. I do want to go because if this is the practice and the way of life there, then I could have a couple wives in a couple months. I'll have personal strippers. I won't have to go to the local ones anymore.
It's a lot cheaper too. That song Taki 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 Roomba, that Taki Taki is about like if a hot girl like walks in. I believe so. Rafa, correct. Rafa, the producer's in Costa Rica right now. He can correct me if I'm wrong. And I believe he does have a microphone to talk on the show, but I won't hold him to it. We won't hold him to it. But guys in the chat box, really only a minute left here in the show. I appreciate you guys chiming in. Good stuff as always. Happy Friday out there. Happy hour is upon us, so hopefully we can get a winner here with the play of the day. Max, I guess can you reinforce what your play of the day is while I try to find the best line on mine?
Yeah, I'm going to be on UC Irvine -5 first half. This is a play that I got early this morning. This is a play that I bet early this morning. This is a play I gave out early this morning. And you know what it's going to do? Because I'm asking with cherry on top, please. It will cash. I believe it will cash. I just think that this Long Beach 49er team had a very nice comeback last night. I think that UC Irvine's a different quality defensive team. They have a lot more depth. And I think that when you have better dynamic scores, you can get a bucket when you're getting your defense carved out. So I think that this UC Irvine first half is definitely a solid spot. And if you're going to get on one of my picks today, that's the one I would get on.
Max, well done, man. Well said. I am really flip-flopping between 2 bets right now. I need your help. I bet both of them.
Drew.
Tennessee minus the points or Kentucky minus the points?
Tennessee minus the points.
Tennessee
you want me to choose
minus
to cover
the points.
5.5 or 12? Yeah, I gotta go with the 5.5.
All right, man. I'm going Tennessee minus 5.5 over Mississippi State. Lock it in. 145 is the total, but I'm on Tennessee minus 5.5. Play of the day, assisted by Max there. Right on. So I do like Kentucky minus the 12.5, but for grading purposes, it is Tennessee minus 5.5 over Mississippi State. Maxwell Smart on UC Irvine first half. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Please smash the like button. We will be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Have a fun, safe Friday night, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Best of luck with your bets.